Why do we generally accept a 40-hour work week? Why 40 and not 50 or 60 or 70 or 20 for that matter? Are we stuck here forever? The 40-hour work week became the standard after World War II. Since then, we have not seen any major reduction. Some economists say we should go to a 21-hour work week to make more jobs. This almost hits the nail on the head. For the fact of the matter is, there is no significant amount of work to be done in an advanced civilization. That's right. The second elephant in the room, after the Federal Reserve money supply scam, is the bald fact that the deployment of machines to augment human work has eliminated the majority of work. Imagine for a moment that everyone is honest and willing to productively contribute his share to the general maintenance of civilization. How long would the adult population have to work per week to maintain the present standard of living in the United States? My guess is about 10 hours. That's it. You could work a single day and be done for the week. Much of what we now pay for would be free or nearly free. You could go to the supermarket and load up your cart with free staples like potatoes, rice, beans, flour, etc., and swipe an allowance card at the register, like food stamps. You'd be allowed to take for free enough to supply you with a healthy diet, but not more. It wouldn't work for high-cost specialty items. You'd have to pay for those. No one would ever go hungry. We can't do this now because everyone is inured with the notion that a man has to work for what he gets. And you've got to work for 40 hours per week, else you're a slacker. So people are supposed to hang their heads in shame when they use food stamps or can't find a full-time job. But there is not enough work to do to supply every adult with 40 hours worth. So what do? We create make-work jobs, or what I call false labor. It's the doing of something that's completely unnecessary in order to give people the illusion of work so they can feel like they're contributing to the general weal and therefore deserve the benefits of living in civilization. Here's an extreme example of false labor. You hire 3 guys to push hard on a telephone pole so that it will not fall down. These beefy guys push as hard as they can for 8 hours till the next shift arrives. When they go home, they are exhausted from their labors. What did they accomplish? Nothing, because the telephone pole will stand all by itself. The majority of work done by Americans is like this. In fact, it is false labor. All that pencil pushing, all that government, all that regulation, all that bureaucracy, all the people employed to comply with all the regulations, all the bean counters, statisticians, marketing analysts, executives playing golf, all useless false laborers, feeling good about accomplishing nothing. There is a general rule in the security business. If the cost of hiring a security guard exceeds the loss due to theft, eat the theft and don't hire the guard. His employment presumes that he will save the company enough money to pay for himself, plus more. That's why there are so many passive security systems. This isn't true for the government. They will spend $1 billion, ostensibly to save a dime from being pilfered. But they get the $1 billion worth of false labor and employ millions by this method. Let's divide up the week's hours. There are 168 hours in a 7-day week. Of the 168, about half are needed for what I'll call natural obligations. Our obligations to our nature include the big one, sleeping, about 56 hours. Then there's eating, pooping, peeing, washing ourselves, etc. Then there's our unnatural obligations like washing the laundry, dishes, etc., taking care of the car, the lawn, cleaning the house, fixing the roof, driving to work and to the store, etc. These natural and unnatural obligations consume at least half of our week. That leaves you with 84 hours of discretionary time, of which we are willing to give up half to the collective and keep half for ourselves as individuals. We are social beings. We derive meaning and value from our interactions with others. No one wants to live by himself like Robinson Crusoe. Not even Robinson Crusoe. And, to be sure, there is much to be envied in the Crusoe lifestyle. But he didn't want it either. What he wanted was half of it. The work you do is the half you want to give to civilization, to obtain a sense of worth in your own eyes and in the eyes of others. If you work 60 hours per week, you cut into your personal time and wonder, what's in it for me? If you work much less than 40, you may think, nobody needs me. I'm worthless. There is a balance to be struck. That balance is about even. You get about 42 as an individual, and the civilization gets about 42 as your contribution to the collective. And that is the problem. The collective only really needs you for about 10 hours, because scientists and engineers have made life very easy as far as work goes. Knowledge is a force multiplier in the job of life, and it accumulates over time. Over generations, it takes over the job market. If individuals are willing to work 40 hours and find meaning to life in that, what do they do for the 30 that they are now no longer needed for? The answer is that you need to find something to do with your life that gives you a sense of meaning and value that does not involve standard employment. You must find interests in life that take up your time and also contribute to the maintenance of civilization. This transition to not working much is going to be difficult. Observe all the make-work jobs created to put off the change. Look at the resistance to change. If we work 20 hours per week, people would go out looking for another 20-hour job to fill their 40-hour felt and implied obligation. After all, they are ready, willing, and able to do so. But there are not enough jobs to fill 40 hours for everyone that way, so we fake it with false labor. Think about your own work. Would civilization fall apart if no one did your job? Would it collapse if people did your job, but just half of it? What people really need is an intellect. Right now, most people just feel. In fact, I encounter visitors on the internet daily who can magically just feel the truth. I've never evolved the capacity for feeling the truth. I can't tell the difference between truth and falsity, except by rigorous and time-consuming investigation. And then, I'm never completely sure. If you had no appreciable work to do, you could spend half your 40-hour work week on those pesky still remaining obligations, then spend the other 20 hours advancing your intellect, and the rest of your week just enjoying the life that was put on easy street by generations of individuals who struggled to give everyone the good life. In the far future, people won't ask, "What do you do for a living?" They'll ask, "What are your interests?" And you'd better have a handful, and at least one major interest, or you're going to get laughed at as a dummy.